What's up, guys? It is complete. My pedal Train Nano Plus pedal board. I put the RV6 on it, and these are the settings that I'm running currently with everything. It's working great. I even got the Crybaby wah, and I'll talk a little bit about that. So I made a video before that just had these 4 pedals on it, and I'll briefly go over it here, and I'll also show you some cable management of how I ran this. Polytune, that works as my tuner and buffer. So that's a great pedal. I mean, I think that's the easiest decision you can make is a Polytune 3. So I'm not using the wah pedal, just for instance. If I were, I would take, this is my guitar in. I would run my wah to here, and I'd run the guitar through here. But man, does this pedal suck tone. Oh my God. I wasn't really, I don't really know what I expected, but it sucks tone a lot, even when it's off. So as much as it is a cool pedal, I'm not really using it too much, but I do have it there. So I feel like that's a pedal that every metal player should want, is some type of a wah pedal. But so I'm running guitar into my Polytune. Polytune directly to the Sentry is running these settings, so that's like basically, that should be at minimum decay. So it's basically minimum decay, as quick as it can clamp shut and open up. The damp is set exactly where it needs to be, right where it cuts off the sound when it's muted. If you set the damp to either too low or too high, I think it's too low, then you hear noise even when there's no noise. So you set that damp right where you need it to be. And then the threshold, that also gets set where it needs to be, where when you're not playing, it's red, and when you're playing, it's green. So the threshold is pretty easy to set as well. And on the last video, I went over why I decided to run the Sentry as opposed to my Decimator X G string. And the main reason I like the Sentry is, I'm not sure about tone. I'm sure that, and I've seen what people say, I believe that the Sentry may suck tone a little bit more than the Decimator, but the problem I had with the Decimator is almost a chirp when palm muting, and I've seen it a lot of times, and I had the problem, and I was running it with the 4-cable method. It's just a problem with the system. I don't know exactly why it does it that way, but for whatever reason, it does. And the Sentry doesn't have that issue. I think it has something to do with the way that the Decimator decays, because I noticed that the problem is still, it actually is present on the Sentry too. It's probably present on everything, but when you set the decay down to the quickest decay, like I have here, the problem is minimized, like really minimized. Running it into the Tube Screamer, using it like a boost, the classic way, max level, minimum drive, neutral tone. In fact, the drive is like, it's like notched up like 1. It's just basically minimum. If it was at minimum, it wouldn't make much of a difference. The Ibanez Pentatone EQ, this is a great value EQ, and I actually had to use a paint pen to, I can't find my finger here, to mark where the top is so I could see that in the dark. So if you use a paint pen like that, you can see. And I actually don't use this currently because I have my Boss Katana, which is now on a stand. Merry Christmas. And also Merry Christmas to the wah pedal. And I have that set. I literally have this set at like an illegal angle, I believe. I have this thing set at like, I think it's like, it's one notched, like, because if I were to notch it the other way, it would be too, I don't know why I'm out of breath. It would be too much towards the ceiling. So this angle works really good for me. It hits you right in the chest when you're standing like 10 feet, 8 feet back. But on the Pentatone, great value, very cheap for very powerful. One thing else I will note is I didn't consider this before, but this is something to consider. Maybe not on these first couple, but definitely when you get around here, these get real touchy. I mean, 200 to 1.3K, man, that's really touchy. Real touchy. Like, when you're trying to, like, hit the exact frequency, whew, good luck. You might you breathe on it and you're going to fuck it up. So that's one, I will say that's one negative of having something that expands so far. I mean, this thing is powerful, man. You can hit every frequency like multiple times. Like, and if you have issues with the lower frequencies, the maybe like the low mids between the 200 and 500, man, you have a lot of options. You have two right there. There's some of these that you can't really hit the frequencies you're trying to hit twice, so it's really good. But I just run this off anyways. I'd probably run this in like this would be like in case of emergency. I'd probably like an EQ from hell too, but those are so expensive. And oof, the RV6 here it is. So now that I got the aesthetic of it all, that like dark gray and black, and the one green in the middle, it looks great. Has a nice aesthetic, which I wasn't going for in the beginning, and it just happened to be that way. It's funny how things work out. I guess the only one where I really on purpose went for the aesthetic is I've just finished it off. I was like, fuck it, I'll just do the RV6 because it's a gray pedal. And it did not disappoint me. This setting, I'm running it on the plate. I tried the other ones. And I'm not like particular to plate, but I found the plate on this one sounded very natural. It sounded very similar to Slayer, running it at this. So my level, that's like, I guess, the volume, you'd say. The tone has to do with like what frequency gets boosted more. And so setting it there, it makes it low enough to where it's not annoying. So there's like a darkness to brightness, I would say. And so it's relatively dark in the time. So just those settings, and I've tweaked those a few times. So that is really just a set it and forget it. Basically, everything's at about 10 o'clock-ish. It's a great setting for it. And yeah, so I'm running guitar to Polytune, Polytune to Sentry, Sentry to Tube Screamer to amp in, which is running right there. And then I have on the Boss Katana, I have the FX loop turned on. So FX send goes directly into here, right? Then this goes out, loops down into the Sentry. And then the Sentry, where is it? The Sentry, I forget where. Sentry return, maybe? Yeah, Sentry return. And then Sentry out, I run all the way to the RV6 because you need to have your reverb after your noise gate. Because you don't want the gate, when the gate shuts off, you still want your reverb to work, or when it clamps down. And I'll show you, I actually did wire manage, so maybe if you watch my last one, you think I was crap at wire managing. I was just waiting to finish it. And it looks messier than I'd like it to, but it's extremely functional. Oh, I don't know why this ripped off. That shouldn't have ripped off. That must have like just been really tight in there. Oh, I guess I haven't checked this in a really long time. But, so that's down there. Maybe I'll just take that off. But either way, I'm running these like little thingies, whatever. You get like 1 trillion of them when you order it. And I was just running the wire the lengths that they need to be. Do your own thing. The sole is literally only using the 3M dual lock, and that's so powerful. You don't need to use anything besides that. I see a lot of people using, what do you call them? The zip ties on this. Not necessary. Not necessary. But yeah, so it's all really is locked down, and it's like it's not going beyond that, you can see. Besides, this thing's fell off, I guess. I don't know why. That must have been too tight. It's weird. It's better there. Yeah, it looks like it was in the corner, but I don't think it was in the corner. I think I had it there, like it was, because that's way too far out. Yeah, this is really off the cuff here. I guess I might as well show it off. The Hanneman Daggers Slayer. Oh, I got this whole thing. I got these rollers all cleaned up. It holds tune great. I'm using the, oh man, what are they called? They're the strings that Kayla recommends. I think they're great. I mean, I was using the Labellas before, but I switched over. These are the Diodario. I forget what they're called. They're like the one. They're like stronger. They're stronger than the other ones. And I actually found. I don't know if anyone's found this, but I've found this. Not stretching your strings. Well, okay, I'll say this for me. I stretched my strings a lot before, and I found that every time the string stretched in a different way, it would lose its tune. These, when I put these on, and I did the same with these. I stretched these before too much, and same problem. So when I put these ones on again, since this is my second set of these types of strings, I only stretched them a little bit, and they've held tune exact. Oh, you can see me. You can see me in the reflection. So yeah. So I've had better luck. I've had much better tuning stability with only stretching them a little bit. And I would find I would lose tuning when I would move it off the roller and like get the roller spinning again, and I'd put my little, I have like a little pin needle of formula that I put on the rollers that they recommend. So, but I pre-lubed them, and it's been running great. And I'm gonna get out a new tone video pretty soon because I've perfected the Slayer tone. Unfortunately for all you guys, it's perfected using this pedal board. It just doesn't run the same when you're only using the Katana. So if you're using all the built-in Katana pedals, I can't exactly tell you why. Maybe it's tone suck, but when you only run the Katana, the amount of high end that gets through is unbelievable. But it's too much, and there's almost no way to tame it down. And it sounds not tight. It sounds not tight. It sounds not fast. It sounds not. It's like when you palm mute, it's like boom, 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 instead of bum, 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 bum. So it doesn't punch you as hard. So when using the pedal board, for whatever reason, it punches much harder. And I tried figuring it out, but for whatever reason, all these real pedals are giving me a real tight sound. And I've dialed. I have a pre and post EQ. So should say an amp in and an amp out EQ. And the amp out EQ is extremely powerful in not the shaping of the tone, but in how loud each frequency is. And just getting the right amount of 125, but not having too much 250 and not having it sound so boxed in between the 250 and 500 has been such a struggle. Everything is so touchy. If you raise the 1K and 2K or lower them each by 0.5 decibel, you totally shift it. If it's just the right amount of high mids or mid mids, or just a little bit too little, it's real crazy. The high end is much more forgiving. A little plus or minus, it doesn't make too much of a difference. And yeah, man, what a struggle. So it's a struggle when you're trying to get it to sound perfect, but I think I got it. That's it. This has been a very weird, rambly video, but yeah, it's complete, and I am complete because the pedal board is complete.